Hey guys, day number 185 of At Home Fitness with Coach A, the YouTube channel that aims to bring you guys in gym quality coaching and workouts for your at home and garage gym needs. It is Wednesday, September 16th here in Northeastern Ohio, and we are looking at some upper body work today. We're going to be going some push and pull, as well as some aerobic uncomfortable, let's call it aerobic work with some running involved. So first piece today is going to be a 12-minute alternating EMOM. We have 2 movements and 1 rest interval, which means you guys are going to do 4 rounds, okay? So if you're not familiar with an EMOM, EMOM means every minute on the minute you start the same thing or you start something else, depending on if it is an EMOM or an alternating EMOM. The first thing is going to be a work rest component. You're going to perform 10 alternating dumbbell plank rows. Now, it's only 10 because it's supposed to be a little bit more on the challenging side, but it's also going to get fatigued pretty heavily based on the second movement. The second movement is a max effort unbroken set of push-ups. Yes, those are in the same position. I understand that. What I mean by max effort unbroken set is as long as you are continuing through your set at the same tempo and pace, it counts. You cannot sit there in a plank position for 5 seconds. I'll give you 3, maybe 4, especially if you're taking a breath and you're setting your hands or adjusting or something along those lines. But once we get to 5 seconds, we're really resting. We're not doing an unbroken set. Okay, so unbroken basically means the same set with a continuous rep scheme. You have the minute to do that. You can't go over that minute. So if you hit the clock, that's pretty freaking awesome. You hit the clock, okay? The next minute is going to be a full rest before, as I said, you go back to the dumbbell plank rows. Again, 4 total rounds, so we're going on a 12-minute clock. Keep in mind that assumes that there's going to be a 4th rest minute in there, which you can time, but you don't have to because you're probably just going to pop up and get ready for the workout. The workout is a spin on the CrossFit workout Helen. So 3 rounds, a 400-meter run, 21 kettlebell swings. We're going overhead as we do in Helen. And then the 12 reps on this particular day are not going to be pull-ups. They are going to be burpees. So, just something to make it a little bit even more uncomfortable, right? It's pretty much kind of a what the fuck Wednesday kind of scenario here. So 3 rounds, again, 400-meter run, 21 American overhead kettlebell swings, and 12 burpees. Stick around if you guys want to see the demonstrations or modifications in the garage gym.
Alright guys, so let's go through today's strength stuff first. We've beat plank rows into the ground pretty much over this quarantine period since COVID began back in March, so I'm not going to go through a lot of explanation here. Simply just that these should be challenging for 10. You probably shouldn't take any longer than 30 seconds, however. So I'm going to set myself up in that plank row position. 1, 2 to 10 from there. Should have, like I said, probably around 30 seconds of rest before I'm going into my max effort unbroken push-ups. Now, on the unbroken piece, if I'm moving through continuously, even if it's a slow pace, it's still considered unbroken. However, if this is my normal pace, and then I do this, that is breaking that set. Yes, you're holding part of the movement, but that's about the same thing as standing and holding the top of an air squat position. You're not doing any work per se, you're just kind of resting and gathering yourself. So, like I said, rest on this is going to be a minute, right? So that full minute, which means I want you to take that rest. I don't want those push-ups going longer than a minute. So if you happen to be Superman, you're able to crush the whole minute of push-ups, let's take that and do it multiple times instead of just that first round. Now, today's workout, we're doing kind of a, I guess you can call a crappier version of Helen, if you will. So we're looking at that 400-meter run to start each round. Second movement is going to be our full American kettlebell swings going up overhead. Keep in mind, we're looking at 21 reps a round, which means the most challenging part of that is going to be coming in from that run, gathering myself, getting my breath under control, so that I'm able to start going and hold on for all 21 of those kettlebell swings. Every time we put something down for the sake of our grip, we're probably going to take somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 seconds at the minimum to be able to shake our hands out a couple times, take our deep breaths, and calm down from there. Third movement is going to be the burpees, right? We're looking at 12 reps there, so the same thing the pull-ups would be. All the way down, flat on the ground, hop and flop overhead.
Stay tuned for movement modifications.
Alright guys, let's talk about our modifications for today. Obviously that first piece is going to be the plank row. If we're going single arm, we can always alternate those dumbbells, just taking the hands on and off the dumbbell. If we're needing to elevate for a kettlebell or holding on to the end of a plate or a handle plate, we're just getting ourselves in that elevated plank position and rowing from there. We can always put the barbell in that position, in which case you're going to need to set it off to the side a little bit. So I'll show you guys from the front how I would hold this and row through here, or I can do that on the ground with just a barbell by itself. But the idea is I'm elevating for space and I'm almost setting myself up, so I have to stabilize and brace while I'm doing that pull. For the push-up, I can grab a band, put it behind the shoulders, do my floor press on the ground. If I can't do a knee or shorten the range of motion on a regular push-up, I can always take some weights, do a floor press like that. I can do the same things in a bench press position. So obviously the difference between a floor press and a bench press position is on that floor press, my elbows are going to stop at the floor, not allowing them to go back behind the shoulders, whereas the bench press does that. So you're going to get some more chest and shoulders in the movement with the bench press, whereas that floor press is going to emphasize the triceps a little bit more. A little different stuff. If you're somebody that has weak triceps as compared to the other pieces, maybe that's a better modification for you to get some weakness work in. For the second piece today, we have our 400 meter run. Guys, girls, that is going to be scaled or modified, to a 500 or 400 meter row. Gentlemen, ladies, a 40 or 28 calorie airdyne. And then the other possibility here on a C2 bike is 800 meters. First movement is going to be our overhead kettlebell swings. One of my favorite movements for people working on their glute strength, glute function, is taking that band, anchoring it back behind us, squeezing the glutes through, pushing into the floor, and creating that hip extension from there. You guys can always take the dumbbells, swinging from the outside. Remember, when we're modifying this with a dumbbell, let's not go up overhead with this, okay? We don't want to be swinging something with only one arm in control, especially when both arms are moving at the same time. If you have that heavier dumbbell, you can hold it on the inside, do your Russian swings that way. Want it to be a quick hip extension turnover. I don't want you guys to have to take a lot of time. So if we're going to modify to something else like hang power clean or a swinging or from the ground similar to the tie pull, that's fine. Keep it light, keep it aggressive. Hands should fatigue, the grip should start to fight, but you should also be breathing pretty hard while you're creating that hip extension. That final movement, the second in place movement, is going to be those 12 burpees. Remember, the whole point there is something that's super challenging, horizontal push down to the ground, making you work really hard, but having that heart rate spike before I take out onto that second and third 400 meter run.